funny. Let's start with the big headline, though, which a lot of people are, of course, immediately weaponizing. In the Middle East conflict, the IDF announced, at least they knew to get ahead of a bad story, that in their efforts to take on Hamas and find the hostages, they mistakenly identified 3 individuals as Hamas, fired on them, killed them. They were hostages. And these are the 3, okay? A lot of people on social media believe they did this on purpose. The supposed rationale for this brutal and horrific war was to free the hostages, not kill them. Now, I don't believe that that's Mehdi Hasan saying he thinks that Israel did this on purpose, but it is him using it. I'm a Mehdi Hasan fan. I think he's really smart. I hate that MSNBC took his platform. But obviously, he's using this to indicate that this war is a waste, okay? Another said it could be intentional, so Israel won't have to negotiate. That, I think, is beyond the pale. And even they did it on purpose. LMAO, all the hostages were killed by Israel intentionally. And finally, a suggestion that Israel executed the Hannibal Directive, which is this inside tinfoil hat thing that you can take a look at. All right, so they got in front of it. But what do you think this means in terms of sustaining their efforts to go after the Hamas the way they have?
I mean, it's indiscriminate killing, Chris. And I agree with you with Mehdi. Mehdi didn't mean that. But you do have to take a look at why was this mistake made at all? Is there the way that the IDF is going after trying to get Hamas is putting innocent civilians in jeopardy. And if those folks were part of the military, we would say it was friendly fire. But there's nothing friendly about killing innocent people, period.
Understood. Downside is, and I've made this argument a couple times, but feel free to dismiss it. It sounds like Israel is being told, you got to even the odds. More of you have to die. So don't use all this heavy bombing to increase your odds to go in and run your missions, which is why they're doing it. Do less of that. Go in and do your missions commando style, which will get more of their people killed.
Chris, there's a difference, though, between who is saying that. Is this something that people who are in power and government that is pushing that sort of narrative, or is the battle happening out in the public eye right now? And I think that's the scary part right now about any war or any conflict in the world, but mainly this one specifically. You have seen Israel recently go on this very aggressive campaign to not only show the video of what actually happened on that night to key journalists like yourself, but they brought over a bunch of social media influencers are in Israel right now, trying, because they realize that they are losing the PR battle every day as long as this war is continuing, and they need to keep Western support behind their actions so they can somehow sell to the world and justify when they eventually want to push out and reclaim that strip.
They have trouble, though, Charlie, because Biden is clearly making a choice. I'm not saying he's abandoning Israel. I'm not saying that he's not an ally. But he clearly isn't on the same page with Bibi Netanyahu. And Netanyahu, you could argue, is not on the same page with his people. Israelis in every poll. Now, of course, we got to see what happens after October 7th, but they want a two-state solution. Yeah. You never hear in Israel in any major way, we want to kill all those people south of the border. Bibi Netanyahu and many of his ministers have given a very different message. There is no two-state solution. There is only one state. There is no Palestine. I mean, they're putting out a lot of rhetoric that's going to make it hard for America to stay stride for stride, no?
First of all, I have to say, I must be a hayseed from the Midwest, because you kill hostages and then you put out a bulletin to the world, we did it. If you were going to do something sneaky, you wouldn't say you did it. Number two, 10 troops were killed right in that area a couple days ago, not because they're indiscriminately dropping bombs. I'm not there, so I can't say for sure. But they're putting GPS guidance buttons to bring in the bombs. Now, what I would say is this. I'm from Detroit. That is the Arab capital of this country, right? My friends are Palestinian. My friends are Jews. We've been talking for decades about this two-state solution. If you Google mapped it, and I don't mean Google Map, but if you zoom in on the West Bank, that thing is all dissected, it's cut up, it's about 200 ghettos, and there's no Palestinian settlement on the Jordan River. So, to wrap this up, I appreciate people thinking innocents shouldn't be killed and they shouldn't indiscriminately. But it would have been nice seeing some people on the campus in these streets doing this on October 3rd or January 2nd, because it's been going on for decades. And the answer is the two-state solution, but it gets real hard when you try to rip settlers out.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.